Good evening, everyone. As this is our first podcast, my first podcast, let me share you some quick information about how this works. So, all the podcasts are available for download because that is fun. If you want to put them on your phone, then you can do it, but also they are available on YouTube as always. And while you're watching this, you can look at the fancy picture I've made just for this occasion. Now, let's talk about Christmas stuff, because Christmas in Hungary is a little bit different than Christmas in the US, for instance. First of all, on Christmas Eve, baby Jesus brings the presents, not Santa Claus, not on Christmas Day. However, as you would expect, this is the time of gluttony. So you can shove as much food as possible into you as if this was some sort of contest. The traditional Christmas meal involves things like halászlé, which is fish soup, töltött káposzta, stuffed cabbages, some sausages, and of course the famous mákos kuba, or beigli, which is a sort of bread made with poppy seeds that are currently illegal in the EU. Because the seeds contain opium, which is a sort of drug. You might have heard of it. Anyways, let's move on. While the American-style decoration is getting more and more popular in Hungary, it didn't used to be like that. Most decoration revolved around candles and some other religious ornaments, as well as the Christmas tree decorated strictly before Christmas Eve. And then somehow, baby Jesus, along with the parents, puts the presents under the tree, and when you come home after a 10 million hour special Christmas mass in the local church, then you can open all your presents. I may speak from experience here. And then on the first and second day of Christmas, either you go to your relatives or they visit you. And then after 2 days of arguing and eating, everybody goes home a little wiser and a little fatter. Okay, a lot fatter. Now, if you think that Hungary is completely deprived of Santa Claus and this whole idea of a fat man in a red suit running around, then you're wrong, because our Santa Claus comes on the 6th of December. At this time of year, children usually get miniature fat Santa Clauses, or Santa Claus, made of chocolate. And we call this fat person Mikulás, a name that is really close to a typical Hungarian name, Miklós. While Santa Claus thinks that everybody is equal basically because they all get a number of chocolate mini Santa Clauses, baby Jesus usually prefers rich children because they get more presents for some reason. Now, given the economic situation in Hungary, poor children or poor families usually get some sort of aid, either from an NGO, a non-governmental organization, or from the government maybe, or from family and friends. Ha! Now I'm kidding, the government would never support poor people, only just before the elections. Now let's move on to New Year's Eve, which is quite similar to the New Year's Eve of other countries, especially in America. On this day in the morning you usually start with drinking, and then more drinking in the afternoon, and in the evening drinking while counting down to the start of the new year, and then some more drinking. In the midst of all the drinking, people usually don't forget about the national sausage eating thing, when people have to eat a lot of frankfurters with mustard and bread. I guess if you compare this to the Christmas meal, then you could say people go on a diet. Except perhaps the 5 gallons of beer that everybody drinks, because that's full of calories. In the first 10 minutes of the new year, the president of Hungary, who is not the prime minister, so not Orbán Viktor, but somebody else who nobody really remembers, because he doesn't do anything all year, speaks to the Hungarian people about love, compassion, honesty, integrity, and all the other things politicians try to live up to, showing exemplary behavior because they are truly good people. I'm sure baby Jesus gives them all the best presents. Alright, so this is me rushing through what a Hungarian Christmas and New Year's Eve look like. I'm sure you understand that it cannot be positive and it cannot be full of happiness, because I'm Hungarian, I love complaining, and I'm gloomy, just like all the other 10 million Hungarian people. We even have a proverb for that. We say, Hungarian people have fun with crying. I'm not sure that makes sense in English, but that is the closest translation I can give you. Alright, that's about it. Thank you for listening, and please find your downloadable version of this podcast in the description of this video. And don't forget, kívánok neked boldog karácsonyt és sikerekben gazdag boldog új évet, which is Hungarian for I wish you a Merry Christmas and a New Year full of success. Have fun, be happy, don't do drugs, and goodbye.